Today I'm joined by Michael Holden, who is the El Presidente of Propertymark and NAEA. Michael, what do you love about Propertymark? Talk to me.
It's friendly, it's professional, it's something I'm very proud to be an ambassador for. It's an ambassadorial role as well. It's not a role where I'm hiring and firing people and stuff like that. It's the fact that there's a lot of collaboration going on. There seems to be everyone seems to be rowing in the same direction, Chris, and I really like that. I like the fact that we're into our professionalism, our standards. I like the fact that we're talking about education and promoting that. I like particularly that we're celebrating the next generation of Propertymark members coming through. And I like the fact that we've got 85 plus regional executives up and down the country. I think we're going places, so I'm really proud to be ambassador.
They reckon that a third of letting agents and a quarter of estate agents are Propertymark members. It seems to be quite a stubborn number that you can't grow. What do Propertymark need to do to grow those numbers?
Well, I think we're doing it. I think we're getting out there, and I think it's this cumulative thing. It's different. You get a gravity, don't you, after a while? And so I can give you an example. The regional conferences, free for 23 and free for 24. Where Jason's what a fantastic team.
Comes from Grantham.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's a good place, isn't it? But free for 23, free for 24. What I can say, Chris, is the attendance at these, the conferences that we've had has been just going up and up and up. And, we've got sponsorship there. There's a load of networking going on. And for the first time for me, one of the themes I have in my presidential year is to collaborate with others. And that's within Propertymark itself, our auctioneers and valuers and our property managers, our commercial people to raise the profile of that, but also our RCS members. I've seen and I've invited quite a few RCS members, and they've come along to our Propertymark conferences, and the feedback I've got from them has been phenomenal.
Okay, but answer the original question: how are you getting more members? It's all very good bringing your existing members through, but what are you doing to bring new members in?
Well, I think it's about qualification. I think there's circumstance that will allow that might facilitate that. I think it's a difficult job, that, and I don't have that crystal ball. With respect, Nathan's and his team, but I think it'll be circumstances that might bring that more to the head, like Roper, for instance, and like parts A, B, and C of the.
And we're going to talk about those
property information.
What do you think Nathan has done to help Propertymark?
Well, I think he's up the media side of things. I think he's professionalised his department. He's brought financial parlance into Propertymark. The networking that we're doing, privileged to go over to Anaheim in California to meet, the realtors. You know this anyhow, Chris, and I'm not teaching you to suck eggs here, but there's 1.5 million members, realtors, but they've got a license system, haven't they? And I think that'll be something that will help us in developing our membership, because I think we need to be seen as the go-to place for professional estate agency, and for property managers as well, and for auctioneers and valuers. And we have 3 divisions. The biggest division, of course, is FARLA. It is, fair play. Then we have NAEA, and then we have, right in the coattails of NAEA, we have the commercial, and we have our colleagues from NAVA as well, valuers and auctioneers. How we're going to get it forward, I think, will be a combination of factors. I think, with respect, the team at Arbon House have, in my presidential run-up over the last 3 years, I've seen a real drive to become member-focused, looking after our membership. And free for 23 is an example of that. So, yeah.
What's the one thing you changed that you haven't seen so far?
I don't know, to be honest with you. It's a difficult, blimey, I'd have to think a lot. I would think probably collaboration with professional bodies seems to them and us still. you know, it's, I'm not thinking of Pink Floyd albums, you know, Roger Waters, but there is still them and us type of thing. But I think there's a coming together a wee bit, and I think we as realtors, wow, I'm saying the word realtor, aren't I? As realtors rather than estate agents, I think there is an opportunity for us to get together and to make it a more rounded process, the home buying and selling side of things. And I'm on that group, the home buying and selling group, and I think the
Well, Kate Faulkner just lives. She's literally 4 miles up the road. I keep telling you, Grantham is the centre of the property universe.
You're quite right. She's smashing, and you know, I've learnt a lot from you know, being a member of that group. There was it interesting that at the last meeting, because I'm not one for keeping quiet on things, and you know, I was talking about Roper and you know, all the rest of it there. But it was interesting that the person who was chairing that meeting said, "Are there any chartered surveyors in the room?" And there were, but they weren't saying anything. I want them to come in and say things. I want to work with RICS and CABE, you know, and CIOB and the other professional institutions, and but I want Propertymark to be seen as a professional body as well, not as a trade body, Chris.
Interesting times. What would your final word be to anyone thinking of becoming president themselves?
I think there's time commitment involved. You don't get paid for it. You get expenses. It's a take up the role as being the ambassadorial role. We've got some great presidents in the making here. I mean, you know, I've got Toby, who's coming along, you know, this in 24. And then, I mean, Toby's associate Ricks. And then we have Mary Lou, who comes from a traditional practice. Her dad was a chartered surveyor, is a chartered surveyor, pardon me, Mary Lou. You know, is a chartered surveyor, a wonderful practice in Northern Ireland. And on the other side, you know, we've got, you know, some serious characters coming on. Megan, it's a great individual, and also Anne Harrod as well. And then we've got Richard, who's you know, president of NAVA at the moment, Chris. So,
well, I'm a massive fan of Propertymark. I recognise what Nathan has done.
Yeah, so do I.
I love the team at Arbon House. Huge amount of time for Rachel, by the way.
Yes.
In marketing comms, she's almost been let loose. She's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love the Propertymark regional executives. They're getting involved out there.
Yeah.
And just keep up the good work. And it's a slow on thing because, I think in terms of membership, I think you almost, if you don't mind me saying, you need to not what do you do, but what do you do for the, you know, what extra do I get for being
competitive advantage to be a member of Propertymark? Absolutely.
Yeah. And I must recognise you have gone far, but there's plenty to go. But it's a great organisation, and I'm a massive
Thank you so much for that. That's appreciated. Yeah.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.